Adventure Time was pretty incredible, but how's your sex life?
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Our boy Finn ended his journey without ever finding a lifelong romantic partner, and this clearly wasn't because of a lack of trying or desiring one either.
Dude, I think I have a crush.
Another one.
I mean, on average, we usually don't meet the person that we're going to be spending the rest of our lives with during our teens, but even with that fact, this is still one of Adventure Time's most fascinating creative decisions by far.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
See you tomorrow.
No! No! You were mine!
Along with the countless mangled bodies of his enemies, Finn broke a lot of hearts while he was defending the land of O and honestly suffered through some of the most traumatic dating experiences that has ever been featured on a kid show himself.
This isn't about some petty love triangle.
Get out of here! Go on! Get the hell out of here!
Finn was straight up bamboozled by Princess Bubblegum into serving directly under her for the majority of his life.
And PB, you're like a bazillion years old. You're not freaking 19, what the heck? Weirdo.
Every time that Finn hung out with Marceline during the earlier seasons, she'd always either be hinting at the possibility that she might have had feelings for him, or she was just straight up kissing him.
Of course his friends.
But no tongue.
What?
Finn was also assaulted by Lumpy Space Princess in the woods after he lost his favorite sword, his father, and his arm in the same day.
That's it. We made up.
What? What? I didn't wait infinity for a dip in the kiddie pool.
What do you mean by that?
But not before he'd become an abuser himself by manipulating Flame Princess into fighting the Ice King for his own twisted pleasure.
You blew it.
The wildest part about all of this is that despite being in the middle of all of this carnage and relationship drama, Finn has technically already been married at least twice during his life.
I have a girlfriend.
Dummy, it's a dance, not marriage.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
His first marriage was of course to Rosa Lennon in Pillowwood, which was a real universe in all likelihood before Gold presumably destroyed it, but we'll get to that.
Oh my Golb!
And then Finn also married Erin the Caterpillar during the special guest animated episode Food Chain, an episode which fans have theorized was actually set in an alternate reality or pocket universe created by none other than Magic Man himself.
Not until you appreciate what a jerk I am.
Similar to how he made Jake would, and I mean Magic Man is literally in the episode, so this idea isn't that far-fetched.
Till death do you part.
Yes.
The truth is that when it comes to dating on Adventure Time, while Finn has undoubtedly been through a lot, he's also done a lot of awful stuff to the people that he's claimed to love.
But I knew if I told you, you'd hate me forever.
There's a lot to talk about, but I think that it makes the most sense for us to start by addressing one of Finn's most solid friendships that started out as being one of his most toxic relationships.
Well, yeah, mostly, but I think I learned something.
Princess Bubblegum was introduced as being Finn's first crush and could have possibly have even been the very first person that he ever fell in love with, which was perfectly fine early on but naturally came with a boatload of issues as Adventure Time transitioned into being a more complex show.
Our secret mission to capture the Ice King is underway.
For starters, during the first 2 seasons, Finn and Princess Bubblegum were strictly written to only have the classic royal princess and loyal knight dynamic.
Thanks for saving the day yet again, boys.
During episodes like The Duke, where PB is backed against the wall, the intent from the writers to portray Finn and Jake as being the unofficial guardians of the Candy Kingdom is clear.
Oh, Finn, my flawless champion! Bring the Duke of Nuts to justice.
PB is not only Finn's boss who rewarded him with kisses after he completed missions for her, but we'd also disturbingly find out that she was lying about her real age to him when it literally wouldn't have made a difference if she was as honest with him about the details of her past from the beginning.
That's for being sweet. And that's for cheating.
Princess Bubblegum never makes an attempt to shut Finn down or clarify how she felt about him after she learned he had a major crush on her during Wizard Battle. Because of PB's refusal to set the record straight with Finn for seasons on end, while continuing to blatantly lead him on and use him by still choosing to send our boy on countless life-threatening missions for her, it's really hard to claim that she was engaging in anything else other than hardcore manipulation.
You should be ashamed! You're sick!
He's out of line.
but he's right.
That is, if you take all of the evidence stacked against her at face value. Most of the issues with Princess Bubblegum and Finn's dynamic were only brought to the surface after Adventure Time made the decision to blossom into being a more complex show. Was PB planned to be an over 800-year-old dictator who worked alongside one of Finn's past lives from the very beginning? Probably not. Was she always intended to have been viewed as being a manipulative monster who was just taking advantage of a lonely little boy for her own personal goals? Again, probably not. It's the exact same situation with the progression of Marceline and Finn's relationship. Early Adventure Time definitely took a comedy-first approach when it came to storytelling, which does unfortunately muddy the water a little bit with these kinds of discussions.
I don't want to date you.
Date me? Man, I just want to go to the movies.
Lumpy Space Princess was definitely implied to have assaulted Finn though, which is beyond insane when you think about it. After Finn loses Flame Princess and then his favorite Lim soon after, he'd eventually also lose control over himself and attempt to date as many princesses as possible, desperately hoping that one of them would have been able to show him how to be happy again. With the help of his faithful companion Breezy, Finn would try to first fill the void in his soul by making out with Crab Princess.
Okay.
When that doesn't seem to work out for him, he'd move on to Lizard Princess. And then Frozen Yogurt Princess, who Jay calls out as being a Flame Princess and Princess Bubblegum clone in one, heavily implying that Finn was still harboring unresolved feelings for both of them.
I ain't hung up on nobody. Nobody.
Eventually, Breezy would drink a bottle of royal jelly in order for her to save Finn's life and confess her love for him.
I'm lost in the darkness, Breezy.
After living through one of the worst days of his life, Finn would be confronted by Lumpy Space Princess in the woods, who comes onto him at his lowest point in the entire series. Finn had not only lost his right arm, his father, and his favorite sword at that moment, but this was also directly after having a pretty big argument with Jake and finding out that Breezy was only pretending to be his friend for her own personal gain.
We're taking this to the deep end.
But I'm not a good swimmer.
Don't be scared, Finn. You're late.
While it's apparently been left up to our interpretation whether or not Finn was actually taken advantage of by LSP or if the time that they spent together was entirely consensual, the way that Finn grips his blanket in the middle of the night after his experience with her makes me believe that it was definitely the former. Finn's marriages with Rosalind and Aaron were both decently healthy though, but they were also only one-episode relationships that didn't alter the trajectory of Finn's life in any meaningful way.
Now what about this dream?
What dream?
Dream you were just talking about? Huh?
That only leaves Huntress Wizard, Finn's most unique and mysterious love interest on the show. I mean, I'd like to believe that the two of them could have been dating during the events of Fiona and Kick. Finn definitely implied that he was still hanging out with her during the series, but I think that would be missing the point. Adventure Time went out of its way to teach us that lust and love aren't necessarily necessities at every stage of our lives, and I'm thankful for that.